Record this. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is really exciting, super fun. This is something that my team and I have decided that is sort of a need, and that is because my business, I tend to get more influx of women coming to me because I'm a woman, but I have learned that I get some clients coming to me who are males who are quite confused about what to do. And I realize I am missing out on a demographic that possibly I could be helping. And with my business partners, all four of us are trainers. So Tracy, you see online, myself, and then you see Astrid is their holistic health coach. And then Tim, he is also a personal trainer. And so all of us have a niche in our training that we have as expertise. And our expertise, we have all similar, but some of us have a few things that we're a little bit better at. So, one of the things that I'm best at is getting rid of the belly fat and body fat and weight loss and beer belly and I don't know, you can call it all kinds of things. And in this like big world of you can find so much information out there, you can get so overwhelmed and confused. It's a lot. I will give you a bit of background about me. So we're bringing you into this community, which is a community that is, we have a supplement company that we have that we can offer very clean, very conducive to all allergens that anybody usually has, and things that you would not find in a store or on shelves. And so we're going to talk about that, but also we're going to offer four areas of tips. I'm going to do the weight loss part. Tracy's going to touch on meal prepping and like batching your meal prepping for having success in being prepared. And then Tim is going to talk about practices in the gym, about weight training, about sets and reps, and optimizing what kind of workouts to do in order to make sure that you get results. And then Astrid, I could call you Astrid or Lucy. I'm not sure. Astrid. Astrid will be touching on recovery in breath work practices and some helping with that like after work issue or after workout issue where we need to decompress and we need to slow ourselves down and bring ourselves into a place of calm, and also talking about muscle recovery. Tim will also talk about muscle recovery. Tracy will also talk about electrolyte balance and also the need to hydrate. I will be talking about protein and energy sources as well. So welcome. That's a lot. We have a big agenda. But like we said, it's recorded, so don't take notes if you don't want to. You can always just get the recording to see it after. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my background in stuff. And basically, I've resigned from being a full-time phys ed teacher. I was 28 years in the Calgary Board of Education as a phys ed teacher. I wanted to be a phys ed teacher because I love playing sports. And as a kid going into university, I thought, well, what better way to do that than to be a teacher in phys ed so I can play sports all day. So that's what I did. And I'm also a personal trainer since I was 19. I have just celebrated my 51st birthday in April. So I have been personal training for a very long time, longer than most in this industry. But it's because it's been in my back pocket as something I've loved to do to help people alongside my teaching. I am a mom. I have a 21-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter, so very different spectrums of ages and places in their life. And so I get to hang out with them and see Jordan thrive in the world of adulthood, and Ruby is just in grade 4, going into grade 4. I am from Fredericton, New Brunswick. I moved to Calgary right after university, and here I am. And I have made my life here since 1997. So very fun. Now, I'm going to write some things on the board because maybe visually it kind of helps. And because I'm a teacher, it kind of comes naturally to me to do that. So if you are on your computer, but you have access to your phone, I want to show you that in order for you to have some body weight drop from possibly it being unhealthy that you're holding this weight, because a lot of times when we hold that weight and the visceral fat weight in our gut and our internal organ area, that kind of weight is the kind of weight that is a bit stressful on the heart, right? So when that's happening, it ends up being, well, I should probably drop some body fat and become a little bit less unwell in that. It doesn't mean that, you have to go and step on stage or do anything like that and have a six pack. It just means you need to maybe become a little healthier in that version of yourself. So I know all of you are very intelligent people who have clues about things, but in order to lose 1 pound of fat, like, in those pictures where they hold like a pound of fat, and then you're like, ew, that's really in me? Well, a pound of fat is like 3,500 calories, right? So if it's 3,500 calories, this isn't a very good marker. I need to use a darker one. If it's 3,500 calories, if you were to take out 500 calories every day of what you're doing currently, you would lose a pound a week. So what would that look like? It might be, oh, okay, well, I need to make sure my serving sizes become a bit smaller during my breakfast, lunch, and dinner so that 500 calories a day is taken out of my intake for the week. So then I'll see the results of having 1 pound a week off. So I have over 100 clients that I've trained in the last year, and the weight loss has to happen through a deficit. So you must have a deficit of calorie intake to what your expenditure in the day. So in order for you to know that, I use an app. And that's what I wanted to do, is help you understand how to use an app in order to track food. And maybe that's not something that you're really interested in, but as a person in fitness, there are things that we need to do that are mindful, but then there's math. Weight loss needs to have numbers to it that are met and hit and measured, because weight loss doesn't happen through just thinking about it and thinking we're doing well. It must be measured. So I always use that analogy in my training, is if it's not measured, it's not managed. And so if this is the app that I use, that I would ask you to try if it's something that you're looking to do to lose that weight. Okay, so I want to see if you guys can actually see this better. Okay, so my fitness pal, okay, is the app. So can you see that? Can't even see that. This is kind of silly that I can't. Um, I know. Anyways, it's My Fitness Pal. So My Fitness Pal app is the app that you would use for tracking. So I'm going to put it in here. My Fitness. My... Maybe Tracy, if you do that while I'm talking.
Yeah, I just put it in the chat for you.
Oh, sorry. You're so
All
smart.
good.
You already know. Okay, My Fitness Pal. So Tracy's going to put it in the chat. So if you pull up the chat box, you can actually read it as she's typing this in. So the next thing that you're going to do when you're in My Fitness Pal and you load that app, it's going to ask you, how old are you? Are you male or female? What is your age? And it's going to ask you those questions because it needs to know the data to give you the right numbers. So when you are in the app, it will also ask you, what are your goals? And your goals you would normally, if you want to lose some body fat, you would just put weight loss and you would click that tab. Now, My Fitness Pal is like every app out there. It's going to ask you to pay money. Don't pay a dime. Everything about it is free. So when you do the logging, you will also be asked, what is your current weight? What is your starting weight, which I don't know why it asks twice. And then it says, what's your goal weight? So let's say you wanted to lose, 10 pounds. So 10 pounds. And you wanted that 10 pounds gone in a certain period of time. It will ask you, would you like to do 1 pound per week, 1.5 pounds per week, or 2 pounds per week? My advice to you is 1.5. So if you put that in the chat, Tracy, and just put set to 1.5 pounds per week. Okay. So with 1.5 pounds per week, that is what stupid that I should be writing on the whiteboard. Um, that is the amount of weight that is healthy, realistic, manageable, it's maintainable, and it actually works to the favor that you won't be in such a deficit that it is unhealthy for you. So the next thing it asks you is, what is your activity level? Now, here's the real, like a real truth. And if there's anything you'll learn about me while I speak is that I don't BS on anything. I just tell it like it is. So a lot of us think we work out harder than we actually do. Um, when we think about ourselves as all average Jills and Joes, we work out 3 to 5 days a week, let's say. When we work out 3 to 5 days a week, we are in the gym or doing our activity for 60 minutes upwards to 120 minutes to 2 hours, right? With training, with mobility, stretching, lifting, cardio, all the things. But because we're in a place where we are training, but we're not training at such an elite level like a professional athlete, we do need to clue in that we're not setting our MyFitnessPal setting to active. We set it to lightly active. Okay, so that's very key. So if you put that in there, Tracy, lightly active. So when you set that right under setting lightly active, there's a tab, and the tab says carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Now, when you are doing a weight loss drop, you are still able to train hard as long as you hit your macros, because macronutrient balance of carbs, fats, and proteins means that you're fueling your body properly with those three macronutrients. Because if you didn't track your macros, you may be overeating in carbohydrates and undereating in protein. And then you're starting to feel the effect of the low protein by way of not recovering from your workouts and your activity. And if you're not recovering properly, then you're not able to come back to training as hard as you were doing it. And you also may have cravings and be way hungrier than you think you should be, because the protein actually helps balance blood sugar. So if you track your macros, which means entering all of your food and showing yourself what it is that your macronutrient balance is at in a day, you will have an eye-opening awareness now of where you're overeating and undereating. People tend to undereat in fats. And when you undereat in fats, you are hungry, you are moody, your brain function isn't as good, and you're also feeling depleted. So making sure that you get the avocado oil, the olive oils, the avocados, the nuts, the good salmon and steak and all those things that you could be taking in to get some of those fats in. So this is a piece here, Tracy, to put on the notes is set your carbohydrates, fats, and proteins to this is carbs, 30%. Can you see that? Did I say this was stupid that I was doing this? Fats to 30% and your protein to 40%. Okay. So 30, 30, 40, 40, 30, 30, whatever. When you set it like that, and then you start tracking your food, you will then start to notice whether or not you're under or overeating in those categories. So in MyFitnessPal app that I have, and when you load this app into your phone and you have a diary, okay? And when you have a diary setting, you have all of your food that you have in a day tracked because this is my day today. Okay. Doesn't matter what's in there. It's just I'm showing you I have it all tracked. At the top, it tells me that I have 1,470 calories a day. I have taken in 1,194 and I have 276 calories left. I don't count calories and I don't ask you to count calories. Counting calories means that you could go buy a box of Timbits at Tim Hortons, eat them, and eat 1,200 calories a day in Timbits and say, I did good in my calorie count today. I hit my 1,200. But what you've done now is you've super eaten in carbs and fats, and now your body is without protein, and you're going to go in a cycle of constantly craving. So when you get into my Fitness Pal, and we will be in communication, all of us, Anthony, Tom, and John. You can ask me questions after this on a text message and say, okay, I'm in the app. I'm confused. I don't really know where to set this. Then we'll chat. But this is the app that I explain to people to use in order to figure out how to lose weight. Now, when you're in that, you also have capability of search engines. You can put in Chipotle restaurant, you can put Taco Bell, you can put Tim Hortons, you can put all kinds of things. And then you can have a really big awareness of, oh, that morning breakfast sandwich I get at Tim Hortons may be putting me into the over fat category super fast in my day, but I didn't realize it. So I keep taking in that fat and then eating more throughout the day. And I don't know why I keep gaining weight or why my belly isn't, shrinking because I think I'm eating well. So there's so much that goes into it, but it can become a very habitual, which is a habit, a very good habit to be keeping so that you can become more aware of your intake. So one of the things that I know that people struggle with is protein intake. Now, I have a protein source brand supplement that I advise people. And in fact, Eddie is on all the protein that I have, all the energy drinks, all the recovery, all the electrolytes. These are the things that he's been fueling himself with for Dragon Boat and for, his world event and all that. I don't know. Did you guys go to Worlds with him? Any of you? Did you? No. Okay. Um, so we have like something like this. I don't know if you guys have protein in your home, but if you do, usually the protein most people have is whey protein, which is derived from dairy. And if you take out dairy and gluten out of your body a little bit and take out a little bit of what you've been taking in your body, gluten and dairy are highly inflammatory. So they cause joint pain, it causes kind of puffiness in the belly and in the body, and it can cause brain fog. And if you eliminate a little bit of the dairy and gluten in your system, you will start to feel a very clean effect throughout the body and joint issues. Anyone with autoimmune diseases, it's not a good, those ingredients are terrible for your body if you have an autoimmune, and that has been proven to be a thing. So the protein that we have, and I have, and our business has, is vegan, plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, and it is delicious. Mixes super well. It's made from split pea, yellow pea protein isolate so that it is easy to digest. And that is what I recommend for people who say, I don't know how to get 158 to 160 grams of protein in a day. If I have to eat that much chicken, I can't. So having protein shakes, having protein added to Greek yogurt is a high protein breakfast or lunch. Adding protein in your coffee every morning is what I do. I put a protein scoop in my coffee. So I start off with 10 grams of protein in the morning and it boosts my metabolism. And then I work out and then I have a post-workout shake and then I carry on in the day and I continue to eat other foods. So a protein shake is definitely something that is a very big go-to for people who are finding it hard to grab the extra protein. Tim is going to talk about how to add protein after workouts and what the benefits are about that. But my 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 offer to all of you is that this is an option for you to grab something that will help boost your protein intake, and it's very, very um, natural and safe for liver. Like people worry about extra protein in their system and all the additives and preservatives that go into those tubs of protein, and we don't have that in our products. So that's why I like to offer it. So that is the quick and dirty kind of explanation of macronutrient counting. I Tracy, I'm going to put in here, I guess it doesn't matter, you don't need to know, but I'm going to put my phone number here, guys. So for the three of you, well, now four of you, um, could all of you text me right now to this number, 403-993-5253. When you text me, I want you to just say, oh, hi, it's Anthony. Hi, it's Tom. Hi, it's John. Hi, it's Kevin. And text that number. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a draw at the end of this for a little gift prize, but I also want to have access to having a chat with you after so that you can get some help with getting your app set up. Um, because that's the biggest key piece to the section that I'm teaching and training on today. Um, I could come back to it after, but I'm going to let Tim go. If Tim, are you okay to get going? So welcome, Kevin. Kevin, where are you tuning in from? Do you mind me asking? I don't know, you might not unmute. It's
He's
okay.
he should be at work. He texted me he's gonna join, but he's working right now, so I think it's
Oh,
listen.
okay, that's all I wanted to know, Tim,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what
Sorry.
where and just so that we know the context of like
Yeah, for sure.
if what they've missed so that you can catch up with them and then have them text me and I'll help them with the app settings and stuff if they're interested. The other thing, guys, John, Anthony, and Tom, I talked about sort of weight loss, but there's also the capability to take this app to gain weight in order for you to like kind of use it as a way for your training if you feel like you need to put on some muscle mass. You don't want to undereat. You want to maybe be at a maintenance and then you want to change your body composition by training hard at the gym. And there are ways to do that through the app. It's not all about weight loss. It can also be about body composition change from what Tim's about to talk about with lifting. So yeah, take it away, Tim. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Just a quick introduction. My name is Tim. I'm a personal trainer here in Calgary. A little bit about myself. I started weight training about 4 years ago. I started in high school, which was really exciting. Actually, fun fact, Miss Kelting was a gym teacher of mine for a little bit. We played soccer together and we also had a couple of workouts together, which was really fun. Yeah, pretty much what I'm going to be talking about is a little bit of the workout component when it comes to losing body fat and also getting into shape. So when we talk about working out, a lot of people have this, preconceived notion that like you're gonna get jacked, you're gonna get huge, and that is a side effect of it, right? So when we talk about it, I like to talk about more of the healthy aspect of just making sure that you are keeping your body and preparing your body in a healthy way, right? So personally, when I go to the gym, right, it has to do with one, working out, obviously, but two, it also has to do with the performance level, the workouts that I do, how I perform them, right? The different types of motions, all of that stuff. We're going to get into that a little bit. And we're also going to talk about a little bit about protein and how that's good for you post workout and recovery. So, starting off with the workout. Now, I understand that a lot of us have jobs, right? So, me personally, myself, I work from 5 a.m. till 3. So, it sucks to go to the gym right after. I understand. So, if I'm going to talk a little bit about workout planning. So, before you even start thinking about going to the gym, working out, the best thing to do is to have a plan, right? A perfect, concise plan that works for you. Now, that could be whether you go to the gym all week from Monday to Friday, or it could be maybe going 3 days per week, but targeting muscles and making sure that you're getting a well-rounded workout throughout your entire body, right? So when it comes to working out, now, when it comes to working out, you want to make sure you are warming up first. Warm up is very important. 15 minutes, 10 minutes of cardio, making sure you're, getting limber, nice stretches going on. The last thing you want to do is to hurt yourself. I have a lot of people that I talk to and they like working out, but they don't like the soreness of it afterwards or oh man, like I think I just pulled something. So now I got to sit out for like 3 weeks, right? So when it comes to working out, you want to make sure you are stretching first, making sure you're getting good cardio, raising that heart rate, warming up your body, making sure you're limber in order to perform these exercises to its maximum capacity. Okay. Second, when we talk about working out as well, I like to talk about designating certain days with certain muscle groups. Working out is very important, and it's very important to make sure you're getting and hitting all of your muscles in a timely manner, right? You don't want to be hitting all of your muscle groups the same day every day. You want there to be a nice split between your upper body, legs, core, cardio. Making sure you have a well balanced workout is going to be the most effective thing possible, right? I'm going to put my phone number down at the bottom as well. And me personally, I help with customized workout plans that work for you, your goals, what you're looking for, and sort of what your goal is within the next several months. Now, working out has to do with I like completely lost my train of thought. I'm very sorry, you guys. Um, yeah, working out has to do with making sure you're comfortable, making sure you're not going too crazy on the machines or with the exercises that you're doing. I like to reiterate this to my clients. We are not machines, right? We're not we're not here to lift crazy heavy weights and to strain our bodies. Absolutely not. When you are working out, you want to make sure you are one, using a comfortable weight for you, but two, also making sure that you're using a weight that you somewhat struggle with. Now, when I personally work out, I like to do between 10 to 12 reps. 10 to 12 reps is the most ideal one that I find is uh, the most ideal, right? So if you are working out, you're in the gym, you just get to the gym, you start your first set, right? Usually I like to do 3 sets of 10 to 12. First set, pretty good. You're getting to that struggle point between 10 and 12. Second set, same thing. If by the third set, you're only getting to about 8 or 10, that is perfectly fine. Now, in contrast, if you are working out and you find it easy between set one and the same difficulty up until set three, then you need to be upping your weight. If you do not up your weight, you're not going to be creating those microfiber tears in your muscles in order for them to grow, right? Because your muscles need to feel some sort of strain in order to break and tear and grow, right? There's the term is called plateau. If you, after a certain amount of time, continue with the same weight, you're not really going too crazy on like the workouts, you're not really straining, you're not really creating those microfiber tears in your muscles, you actually begin to lose muscle, right? Because you're not stimulating it. Okay. So it's very important that when we talk about working out and we talk about the different workouts that we are doing, right? You need to make sure that you guys are one, comfortable, always comfortable, but two, pushing yourself within your limits. Okay. Pushing yourself within your limits, it's key to better performance, key to more improvement, and key to the results that you are looking for. Okay. Now, I wanted to touch a little bit on the different workout plans that I provide. Now, I provide workout plans between 6 days, 3 days, whatever that may be. If you do have questions on that, I'd be happy to help. I am going to ask a little bit of questions about what your, for example, like what your daily routine looks like. How much time could you actually go to the gym, right? Because we can't very well just spend 3, 4 hours in the gym, right? There has to be a time limit. So when it comes to working out, depending on your time limit as well, the intensity has to be a little bit different. For example, if you could be at the gym for like 2 hours, you could have a high intense workout, but you could stretch it out a little bit, as opposed to if you could only be there for like, let's say 45 to an hour, the intensity has to be a little bit higher just to ensure that you're getting the most out of your workouts, right? So personally for me, when I was in the gym 4 years ago, I couldn't pick up 45 pounds on the bench press. Impossible. I felt like a chump. Everybody else could do it except me. It was gross. But what did I start doing? Okay, I can't pick up this weight. What can I pick up? I could pick up, let's say, like 20 pounds on each side. Okay, perfect. You start with that. Now, once you start realizing that your body is growing, right? Those exercises, those weights have become a little bit easier to deal with. You can start upping the weight. Now, it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't slap on another 45, 35. No, it could be small weights, 5 to 10 pounds. I recommend the 5 pound jump. But if you can go up to the 10 pound jump, that is going to be perfect and the most ideal for creating that progress. Always making sure that, again, like I said previously, you are getting those good strains. And you want to make sure that it's hard um, to complete those movements, right? Again, nothing too crazy. Now, another thing I wanted to touch on is form. Form is probably the most important thing when you're going to the gym. If you are going to the gym, let's say however much you're going to the gym, if you're going to the gym, you need to prioritize form. Form is the most important thing when you are in the gym because it avoids a lot of things and it helps with a lot of things. One, with your muscles. Like that's going to be like the most improved because you are getting exactly what you need from the workout. What it prevents is injury. Injury is like the worst thing you could experience in the gym, having to sit out because you can't, do the exercise or it hurts, all of that. You don't want that. So making sure you have proper form, right? And you could do that by many different ways. You could Google it, YouTube. If you see someone else maybe doing the same workout, approach them and just kind of see how they do it, kind of get some tips and tricks. Never go into a workout or an exercise without knowing how to do it well, right? Or if you are going to do an exercise or a new exercise, don't go don't go too high on the weights just because you're not used to it just yet. Work your way up to it. Like I said before, when it comes to working out, it's all a progress. It's about baby steps. Baby steps are still steps. You're going to get to where you want to be, but it does require your patience and understanding when it comes to doing those different workouts. So we talked a little bit about working out. We talked a little bit about the warm up, right? All of these things are very important, but let's talk a little bit about post workout. Now, I talk to a lot of my clients, and usually I ask them about 3 questions, and all those 3 questions just have to do with what are you eating, how intense are your workouts, and how much do you sleep. Now, the first 2 questions are usually fine. They eat good, and the intensity is good. Sleep. This is something that I preach about. Sleep is probably the most important thing when it comes to recovery and building muscle. It is when your body does the most recovering. It is when your body does the most growing. 8 to 9 hours are your most optimal. If you can do more, great. I wish I could, but I can't. I'm up after 8 hours. So if you can get into the routine of not just working out, but as well getting a good night rest, this is going to take your journey to a whole nother level, right? Because you're giving your body what it needs. And what it needs is that physical activity, that high intensity, and then the come down to let your body do what it needs to do in order to see the results that you want to get, right? Now, protein. I brought my bag. I'm proud of it. I sneak it in my room because my dad steals it. Protein is very, very good for you, okay? Especially when it comes to working out because it helps with about three things. And those things have to do with recovery, repair, and growth, right? When you take protein, right? When you take protein, that is both giving your body the energy it needs, and because usually after you work out your body requires energy that it'll start taking out of your muscles in order to keep you going, right? The protein is going to help maintain that muscle mass, maintain you feeling good, making sure you're getting your obviously your protein intake for the day, and making sure that your body is repairing at a good pace. I personally like to take my protein post workout and in the morning because I eat it for breakfast and then after my workout. But it totally depends. As long as you're meeting your protein goals for the day, your body will do the rest, right? So making sure you're getting that protein intake, making sure you're giving your body that time to recover, as well as that high intensity, good form workout is what's going to get you to the absolute top. Now, yes, I also brought my muscle recovery. Here at Arbonne, we provide muscle recovery. It tastes great. It's like drinking juice. And these are the supplements that you need in order to give your body 100% top tier effectiveness when it comes to muscle recovery, right? A lot of people don't like working out or don't like going to the gym because of the post effect of, man, I feel sore. I can't even touch my chest because it feels awful. It is completely normal to feel a little bit sore post workout, but having these things in place are what's going to help you keep going at a good pace and also making sure that you're enjoying your workouts and the process in them, right? So, yeah, thank you very much for joining me today and listening to my little presentation here. But please, if you are going to check out the Arbonne website, look into the muscle recovery, look into the protein. My dad loves this protein. I'm sure you guys will too. This chocolate protein is amazing. I love it. Everybody in my house loves it. That's why I have to hide it in my room. And I hope you guys enjoyed my little talk. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tim, so much. And Tracy, go ahead and yeah, have at her.
All right, quick intro. I'll try to be fast. I'm
Yeah.
married. I have two kids. Born and raised Calgary. I've been into fitness for over 20 years. I've been a first responder for the last 20 years. 2016, I opened and owned my own CrossFit gym for 3 years. And then now pretty much all my coaching for fitness and nutrition is online coaching. Um, I'm going to talk to you guys just a little bit about meal prepping and how to make kind of the macro tracking, like Jill talked about, much easier. So I kind of have 5 little tips for you guys today. First one, I'm all about keeping it simple. I am not a huge fan of cooking or that sort of thing, and I eat food for fuel. So for me, it's not all about the taste or these fancy meals. I just keep it really simple. So always wanting to start with a protein, then have some veggies prepped, some carbohydrates like rice, sweet potatoes, and then like Jill mentioned, those healthy fats. So avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oils, that sort of thing. Tip number 2, batch cooking. So if you have a slow cooker or like an Instapot or any of that sort of thing, I really like at the start of my week, just doing what's like some options. I'll give recipes that we can give you guys after too. But so like buffalo ranch chicken, I just put a bunch of chicken breasts into a crock pot and then I do buffalo ranch. I'll take hot sauce like Frank's or whichever is your favorite hot sauce, either a ranch powder like packet or actual ranch like dressing. And then you have kind of like that ranch chicken that you could put into tacos. You could put it on rice with some beans and corn. Um, there's kind of that option. You can do pulled pork. So just get a bunch of pork tenderloins, put them in there. You can find like marinades, and then you have pulled pork. Again, you can put it into like a salad. Lots of different options with that type of protein. And then the last one I do just like a big skillet with taco beef. So just taco seasoning. You could also do it with chicken as well in the slow cooker. And that way you have taco beef. You can make taco salads, bowls, wraps. Again, something easy on the go for dinners and lunches. Another easy one is sheet pan baking. So you can just put like a bunch of chicken, some veggies, some potatoes, all some olive oil, or coconut oil, any of your spices or seasonings that you like, put it in the oven and just batch cook a sheet of there's your protein, carbs, and veggies right there. And then owning or having some like meal prep containers so that you can portion out your protein, carbs, fats into your meals for the week. Put them in the fridge, put them in the freezer. If you're really lazy like me sometimes, I'll just use Ziploc bags and I Ziploc my protein or veggies, and then you can pick and go whichever you want to mix together as some options there. Having a rice cooker is good. Obviously, right now, barbecuing is in season. So again, you can put your veggies on the grill, put all your protein on the grill, make some of your own homemade marinades just to get rid of all those extra sugars that they put in all the packaged barbecue sauces. And then tip number 4 is prepping for your schedule. So if you know you work Monday to Friday, maybe Sunday is the day that you're going to prep meals so that you have stuff scheduled for Monday to Friday. Or if you like to cook every couple of days, do Sunday and do Wednesday. And then they're in your meal kind of schedule or plans made for your week. Last one tip, again, using spices, hot sauces, marinades, just getting creative and finding stuff. There's recipes all over online that you can make your own marinades, even making your own spices together and mixing a bunch. And then I wanted to give you a few examples or options for like breakfast snacks, dinners. So Jill kind of touched on it already, as well as doing like protein yogurt. So you can take like the Arbonne protein, there's like vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, or coffee protein. Those you can just mix in with like your Greek yogurt and it just tastes like pudding, but you're getting that extra bit of protein in that. Overnight oats is another one. There's tons of recipes online as well. So you're just going to mix oats, whatever, milk alternative that you like. And then you can put fruit in there. Like you can do like apple pie flavored ones. You can do carrot cake. You can do blueberry. So just overnight oats, you put them in a jar. And then the next morning, your oats are soft and you've got protein on the go. It's really good for a pre-workout or post-workout meal as well. Another one is protein pancakes. Jill and I like we have some recipes for that. You can also do them as waffles if you like to have waffles. And then smoothies, another easy go-to on the run if you need one for the gym. As far as some snack ideas, just hard-boiled eggs, having fruit and veggies cut up, some having some nuts, some little prepackaged cartons of nuts. Protein balls is another good one. Those last forever, but not in my house because my kids eat them really fast. Just having that pre-cut fruits and veggies. Popcorn's another good one. That's you can eat a lot of volume of popcorn for how much calories it actually is. And then jar salads is another one. So again, getting some mason jars, putting those fruits, veggies, your protein in there, having some of your own made little like olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and then you've got salad with protein on the go as well. So that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. I know Jill mentioned electrolytes too, so make sure that you're salting all your food. It doesn't have to be a ton, but just get some sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, just making sure you're adding a bit of that to all your meals as well. Or you can totally do my favorite thing in the summer is just like some salt and lime in my water that I like to drink. Or I don't have any left with me, but Arbonne does have, Jill might have it. It's the Sport Hydrate. So that's another good one too that has electrolytes. You can pour it in, drink it while you're doing your workout. Again, for you guys that do the dragon boat racing, like super awesome. Just fill a water bottle with that as you train, and it's just going to replace those electrolytes for you throughout the day. Um, I know I went kind of fast. I just wanted to get through it for you guys, but if you have any questions, could put it in the chat below. But yeah, hopefully that kind of helps with a bit of batch cooking and meal prepping for you.
Tracy, thank you so much. I wanted to let you guys know that in the spiel of everything that's going on, the recording is something you can take with you to revisit everything, but also what all the recipes, overnight oat, pancake, protein pancakes, yogurt bowls, protein balls. I have protein muffin recipes that are, so simple and easy, but throwing those in a bag in your car as you go and having a quick protein snack, all those things are things that we all want to help give you as value from being on. So that's why when you give me so Kevin and John below here, John Harrington, I don't know where John's coming in from. I asked everyone before where you were in the world so we could see and say hi. So if you want to let us know, but if you could all of you, because I don't have everyone's yet. I had a couple of you text me, but please text me because I do have a nice gift to do a draw for after this, and I want to make sure I get that done. So please make sure you send me that, Kevin and John, and um, we'll get going with Lucy or Astrid. So, without further ado, this is something super cool, and I will let you take it away, my dear.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Astrid. Like Jill was saying, I'm a holistic health coach. So I've been practicing natural medicines and energy healing and breath work for the last 20 years. So that's really what I'm focusing on. I'm helping like individual and companies just to live better with their environment, their mindset, and in their body. So I'm helping with nutrition, with breath work, with energy healing, with mindset training, with brain rewire exercises. So just to help yourself as a overall. So what I'm focusing on today is really the importance of this combo when you do exercise of your breath, your muscles, so the workout part, and your mindset. Because what you feel in your mindset, in your brain when you're doing the exercise is also as important as working out your body. So the first exercise I will work with you is a pre-breath work exercise. So it's called the 4-4-6 because you inhale for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 4, and you exhale for a count of 6. So I will invite you to give me 3 of those breathing, so you have a bit of idea on how it's really kind of reset your whole body and really put you in condition. And this breathing exercise really helps you to lower your cortisol level, to be more focused, and to power up your nervous system. So really to make your whole body ready for your workouts. So as Tim was saying, it's really important to prepare before even working out. This is part of the pre-workouts that you can do. So let's try 3 of those. So you inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. You hold for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. You exhale on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to breathe through your belly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold and release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last one. Inhale through the belly. Deep inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this technique really recenter you. So whatever you've been coming on, maybe you had like your long day and you're really exhausted and you're on the go for your workout, and after you have so many things to do. So that really helps you to recenter and be completely ready for your workout to avoid any injury. The second breath work I will recommend you is during workouts. So depending on what you're doing, if it's something more like with 2 motions, like squats, push-up, where you go up and down, when you have this motion, it's when you go down, you inhale, and when you go up, so when you contract your muscle or when you do the big efforts, is exhaling. So that will allow your muscle to release the tension of the contraction. So it will kind of mess up a bit your brain. So it won't go in full, complete, like blockage like if you're like trying to hold your breath or trying to inhale, the fact to really exhale while you're doing the harder part of the exercise will really help you to recover faster and to have even more energy and to grow then more muscle mass. The second one for the during workouts in when you do still exercises, like let's say plank or holding squat, the important part is really to have a slow and steady breathing. So if you're doing plank, to don't be like because you're struggling, because it's hard, but more like because what is giving to your body is we concentrate on your breathing. So instead of going into stress mode and putting your cardio up, it will actually relax your muscle. So you can stand longer and so you can build more muscle mass. Because what you're doing when you're breathing really fast is just sending stress information to your brain. So your brain, for as a safety mechanism, is going to just hold on tight, and then that's when more of the pain will come afterwards. So really, depending on which type of workouts you're doing, is really important to have to adapt the type of breathing to the different exercises you do. So that was for the breathwork parts. The mindset. So what? Oh, that's possible. Yeah. So the mindset. I would just propose you to think a second on when you're doing workouts, what is it that you're telling yourself? Is it negative sentences? Is it's too hard? I can't do it. I'm struggling. Is it or is it more empowering sentences? So what you're telling yourself during workouts is also really important because your brain doesn't know the negative sentences and doesn't know the present and the past. So having, when you're doing workouts, even if it's really hard, even if you're struggling and it's painful, it's really important to keep on positive mindsets. So let's say I'm stronger, it's okay, I can do it, I can go further, it will get easier. But anything that you're telling yourself, to really try to have it really a positive sentence. Yeah, kind of a mantra that you will keep repeating. So I know when you're doing the exercises with the boats, like really having this exercise, like I'm pushing, I'm going forward, it's gonna be easier. Really aligning your mindset with the end goal. The last part is recovery. So like we were saying, I do a lot of PMF therapy. So that's the therapy. So it's used a lot by pro athletes. It helps your muscle to recover with wave frequency. So depending on the injury, it can really heal, help you to recover or repair all muscle tissue and any damage, cells damage in your body. So it's a small thing. We have mat. There's something for the sports. There's little mats depending on which part of the body we need to work on. And another one is the nutrition. So the one I always recommend to my colleague. I don't have those here because I'm not at my place. I'm pet sitting someone, so I don't have any of my Avon products. But yeah, Jill might have them. So the first thing is having a good sleep. So I don't know if you're exercising every day or really often, but your recovery also go through your sleep. So I would recommend the Inner Calm. Is that the one? Yes. Because it has ashwagandha and saffron that are really good to balance your stress hormone. So it really helps to put your body into calm mode afterwards, in stress of staying too long in this really active mindsets and energy, it will really help your body to go faster back to relaxing mode. And the other one also that is really popular and everyone really love it, it's the herbal tea. And it's called Dream. And that one has lavender, chamomile, and valerian, which are in Ayurveda and all natural medicines. The the go-to, the go-to plants, because it really helps your whole nervous system to relax, to calm down. And so if you're having issue with sleeping, to help you sleep better. Because like really how you sleep is really good for your muscle, and that will help you to recover faster. And the last thing I would like to add is, because it's tomorrow, it's a new month, it's a perfect day to have new routine. So I will put my phone there, and my Instagram, depending, some people prefer phone, some people prefer Instagram. But think of one commitment that you would be okay to do for the next month in the few techniques that I give you. So adding one of the breathwork technique pre-workout or during workouts, or one of the mindsets exercises. So if you remember that you're telling yourself more negative things when you're doing workouts, try for 1 month to change the mental reps and to say to yourself something good about you or something empowering during your workouts. So I would love if you could text me, let's say in a week, just to see if you could implement it into your routine every day or as much as possible, and tell me how you feel. If you see any changes, if you feel better, if you feel your workout is getting better. So yeah, that will be the speech for today.
Okay. That's awesome. You're so great, you guys. So I would like to open it up to questions for any of you that have questions because of the information overload. If there's anything that came up to you, and if you had questions about some of the different supplements we showcased, but also Astrid, I will give you the numbers for Anthony and for Tom in order for them to give you unless you guys take her number there. I didn't know that you were going to throw that down. And so, yeah, ask us some questions. We'd love it if you guys had some things that came to your brain when you were listening.
Jill, do you want it still recorded, or do you want it stopped for this part?
Oh, yes, you're very smart. So, okay.